It's a $5 bounty tournament. I'm currently in the money. For the previous, I suggest watching whatever number this is. This is probably going to be Chris MeyerDiggins Poker 106. So I suggest watching Chris MeyerDiggins Poker 105 first for the beginning part of the tournament. Bum, bum, bum. So it's a little bit early, but I believe it's my tournament to lose. I'm playing pretty exceptional so far. There's really no hand I would have played differently so far in the tournament, so I'm pretty happy with how I played. If I got picky, maybe there might be one or two hands, but overall it's been pretty good. So I'm predicting a final table finish at the very least, and unless I get unlucky, unless they start cheating. But I kind of calling it out now, so it's unlikely to happen. Because these pedophiles and rapists don't want people to be able to call their shots with their talent. Because they can't do it without cheating, so they don't want people that don't cheat to be able to do it. How many players are left? So I'm currently 6th out of 17 remaining. There was 258 entries. I got 8 KOs, which is cool. And $88.46 going to first, and $45,529 going average stack. I was hoping everything worked out there. Yeah. Kind of hard to get him to fold 2 pair, but especially all his chips. That was a pretty nice call unless he was cheating. Because could have easily had the 10. Couldn't get him to fold the chop. I probably should have put them all in. Put them to the test. But that was a fortuitous river that he got. Call. That was the big stack. Hasn't made too many moves. That was his first big move, so that was probably a legitimate hand that he had. I'm gonna fold since the big stack reacts after me. Call, call. Nice. So I would have got lucky. But at least the guy to my right won instead of the big stack. If the big stack wasn't in the pot when I had the 7 and 8 of clubs, I would have called the 10K, no problem. And I would have got lucky. As a general rule of thumb, I think you have to Google search it, but from what I recall anyways, when you have suited connectors, especially middle ones, they the more people in the pot pre-flop, the better your odds are. Your odds go up. So even though you might have 8-7 suited, if there's 3 people in the pot, one guy might have ace-king suited, one guy might have ace-queen suited, so they have fewer outs. So your odds, you would have 2 live cards, and you have potential straight draw and potential flush draw. So it'd be interesting to see. Maybe I'm gonna have to try to find out, because I don't think you could Google it for 3 different. You'd have to choose the 3 different hands, I guess. But it'd be nice to know randomly with what it would be for random situations, basically. Not just one set parameters. Because the odds of you putting them on, well, I guess aces. The most likely scenario would be aces, ace-king versus 7-8 suited. Would be the scenario. If you had that scenario, what are your odds pre-flop if you went all in? And then what would your odds be if? Because I never go all in pre-flop with almost never go all in with suited connectors unless I have lots of chips, because they disappoint me way too often. Most reliable hand, like if the hand I have right now, it's kind of decent, so I'm expecting it to disappoint me. So I play it differently than if I was to play Jack 4. If I play Jack 4, the artificial intelligence system isn't expecting me to play Jack 4, so I'm able to fool the system and win hands that I shouldn't be winning. But playable hands that most poker players play, those are the hands that I consistently lose at, and my hand history is going to reflect it. See, like right here, like the most I think I should fold, but I'm going to see one more flop because he made a bet. But I think I'm going to end up with the loser. I'm going to call right down to the river if it's cheap, just to show you that this hand's going to be the loser. Actually, I'm not going to call because he kind of took his foot off the gas, so. So I'm going to try to win it instead. I didn't want to call it. I'd rather try to win the pot than what's the... So 496. It's taken extremely long time today for the screen to load on PokerStars, which is suspicious. So I'm gonna go to this table because it really doesn't matter. Like $5, I'm not playing for $5. What's $5 gonna do for me? Well, $4 or whatever it was. At least $5 I could play in a $5 tournament and potentially win $90. And that's one thing that my hand history is going to reflect to as well, is there's never days where I just destroy the cash table and turn $20 into hundreds of dollars in a day. Well, I have turned $20 into $500 pretty fast, but not often enough for my skill level. All you have to do is watch my videos. I usually win the majority of pots, but I lose big pots. I lose when I hit a full house on the river to another full house. Those are the pots I lose to. In this tournament, I'm not going to lose as with high card. I'm going to lose a big pot or win. Or a series of pots in a row. I'll get down to say maybe 30k or 20k, and then depending on the blinds, I might end up having to get more desperate. It's like the watering hole. When you play poker, it's like the watering hole and there's alligators. Eventually you get thirsty and you have to drink. So as you get blinded down, those blinds get more and more expensive, and so you have to drink. You have to take risks. You have to win pots period. Yeah, at least a pot. You can't rely on luck all the time. You need to get lucky, but at the same time, you need to, like when I called with 9 deuce there earlier and I ended up winning a big pot. You have to take chances. Even though I had 6,000 chips and the bet was 1,000 chips with 9 deuce, it's a normal loser, but I had to take the chance because I thought it could be the winner that particular hand, and I try to base how likely I am to win from that position in the tournament. Like, how many hands have I won in second position, first position, fourth? I try to figure out how likely I am to win, basically. And usually I play deep enough in a tournament that I end up hitting big hands in the tournament. I make it long enough that I hit a flush or a straight or a full house or a set because I played 100 hands or a couple hundred hands, whatever it would be. Did he call? He must have called. And that showed his cards. Nice. So hopefully I win this tournament because when I won the $10 tournament, I didn't have enough footage on my phone to film the whole duration of the tournament. So you just see the end of it, whereas this potentially could see the whole tournament. Just playing in pots with this guy. But it's a little bit of tennis right now with the big stack. Trying to basically get him to play for more time. At times. Sometimes it's like volleying him, make him go left, make him go right, make him come in close to the net, make him go far to the line, make him juggle basically while you stand still. Make him do all the running. Until you could capitalize on their weakness. So in poker, especially with big stacks, I'm trying to gain information about them so I could bust them or double up through them. Small stacks, I usually lose to small stacks because like right now, that guy has I didn't even see what he had, but I have no respect for him if he calls. He only has 7K. 7K. So if he see this guy right here, I have zero respect. I know he has an ace, but I could outdraw him, so I'm gonna call because I have the chips too. So if I get lucky, it's because I have the chips. If I didn't have the chips, I would have folded there. See, nice bet. So now it's 8K to win 26K, and I have 5 outs in my mind. But he could be on a flush draw, so I'm going to call. Okay, so he, 3 of a kind, that was nice. Yeah, I don't really see the set coming too often, because even though I had no respect, because if he had more chips, wouldn't have got anything out of me. But it was that he had so few chips. If I could have put him on a set, I wouldn't have called. I thought I had some outs. Oh, what a terrible river. Terrible river. I think I made a good call on the turn, but got rivered. So it's pretty strange. I smoked marijuana, and the last 2 joints I rolled, they unraveled on me, both of them. So the rolling paper company that's been in business for over 100 years, 2 defective papers back to back. What are the chances of that? Marijuana is legal in Canada, where I am. I don't even get high off it. They hack my brain so I don't get high. I have gotten high recently for several minutes over the last few days. Just enough to feel it and maybe say, oh wow, I feel high on film, and then they kind of restrict it again. And it's funny, I even filmed it today, and on the point at the moment when I said I'm high, you could see somebody else hijacked my expression, because it's not even a smile I normally make. And I know this about myself, know myself so much, so well, that I could tell the slight differences in myself on film. I even caught on film when my eye making the strangest movement. Okay, will I get lucky? That's a nice bet. And no, I didn't get lucky. That's brutal. That was a nice spot. It was a dangerous spot though, because What was it? Was there a straight flush? Yeah, there's a potential straight flush. I like it when you make it to the final table. The background lights up. It'd be awesome to make a final table at the World Poker Tour, or the World Series of Poker, where the lights, you see all the money on the table and the cameras are on and performing under the pressure of the lights, basically. $31K, so that leaves me $29K. But there is a potential straight flush, so I'm gonna fold. Hopefully this guy calls. No, he didn't call. I wanted to call, but I would lose. But I did want to go for that bounty. And why risk it all in one hand when I could chip them apart, like chip them down? Nice. See why risk it all when I just earned 14K with 9 deuce. Why risk it all for 31K when I could earn it with 9 deuce. So I know this about my game. Know my tendencies and how likely I am to lose certain scenarios. So the scenarios I typically lose, it all depends if I'm going for first at that particular moment. If I'm going for first, then I'm likely to make a call that risk almost everything. I'm willing to be crippled to go for first. Nice bet. I was in it was a play money tournament, mind you, but I came 5th out of 1467. And at the final table, when we got to the final table, or shortly afterwards, I was one of the chip leaders, or, well, maybe it wasn't chip leader, I was middle of the pack anyways. I had 750,000 chips, and I think there was a guy with 1 million and another guy with 2 million. But the rest of the table wasn't really important. But so it got to a point where I had a straight. Yeah, you should watch the video, find it anyways and watch it. But I was willing to get crippled playing for first. Well, I guess I told you I finished 5th, so needless to say, but you have to listen to the commentary at that particular moment, which is priceless. I usually have a good idea where I stand. Not all the time, not 100% of the time, but about 80% of the time. Over 70 for sure. But my goal is to refine that as much as I can. Okay, so what's this guy doing here? I'm gonna see a flop. And of course I didn't hit. Call. Ace, king, king 6. So it's pretty obvious. They had 5 outs between the two of them, and they hit the king to split the pot. That was brutal luck. Brutal luck. They didn't split the pot, but the guy got lucky and hit his 6, but pre-flop you don't really count the 6 because you have to hit 2 of the 6s. So that was brutal. So lost 2 flips. That was basically another flip that I lost. And the only reason why I didn't go in pre-flop was how many chips they had. Okay, I don't believe him, so I'm calling. Okay, I was right about that. Nice bet. Okay, 7th out of 11 remaining. Okay, now it's getting more interesting because there's only 11 of us left, so I guess I should start respecting the table more. When there's 2 players that have at least almost 3 times as much as me or more. So hopefully I make it to the final table and the biggest stack isn't to my left. That's what I'm hoping for. Okay, so it must be, yeah, there's 10 of us left, so it's going to be a 9-handed final table. So it's hand for hand right now. So it's always awesome when you have a cash game open, because then you're still in the poker rhythm. Sometimes I like to, if I lose a big pot on one table, I like to take my frustration out on another table. So if I'm playing 2 or more tables, I could hide it. Because the general rule of thumb, not all the time, but often enough, more than half the time, if a person has a big bet, like a big beat, where they just lose 40K and they go all in the very next hand, sure, you do get lucky sometimes, but usually that's a tilt move. Usually they're just angry and they're frustrated and they're trying to get their chips back, and you can catch them with Jack-7. So if you have a decent hand like Ace-Jack, Ace-10, something like that, a decent enough hand, call. If you could afford the chips, if you had the bankroll. But you can't do it all the time, because occasionally you do get Ace-King and then you get aces the very next hand. Especially online. But at the casino, it's probably a way better tell for the casino. Because you're going to be able to see his visible frustration in his expressions or whatever he's saying. He's going to be doing the poor me's or... Okay, I'm going to call. I don't think he has the king. Okay, so If he would have jammed right there, I might have folded that time because I thought my kicker was bad. And it would have only left me with 10K, so he could have outplayed me that hand. When I did win I won a $1 tournament. There was 1,500 players, and when I first started playing with PokerStars years ago, so I'm gonna have some explaining to do because I didn't play poker in like 10 years, and then within a week of playing poker again, I won a tournament with 1,500 players. And then didn't seem to win much for months after I said, wow, this was almost too easy. Because it's like I shook off the rust. It was like 10 years at least since I played poker. And, okay, so nice bet. Let's see if I could grind back into this. No raise, so that's good. But you're hoping to get lucky when you have the hand like I have. Nice. When in order to win tournaments, you have to have giant cojones to pull off moves like that. You have to be willing to be crippled to win. Okay, I think I got it. I'm gonna be shot. I think I lose almost, but I can't be bullied out of this pot, so I'm calling. I didn't believe the better, but the other guy did. I'm gonna fold them. Best case scenario, I'm in a flip, and I have an atrocious record, so I'm not gonna risk it. Okay, I'm at the final table, and I won that bluff, so that's nice. So I won a $10 tournament. I think I showed well, that was last video. I won a $10 tournament last week. There was 11 players. So, but I was, I think, chip leader when I reached final table, or near chip leader. So this is a different dynamic. And the worst case scenario happened where the chip leader is to my left. That's the hardest scenario. Depending on how he plays it. As chip leaders, some chip leaders just sit back and pick their spots, and then others are more aggressive, so we'll have strategies for both. I'm so used to playing in every conceivable position because I played lots of tournaments, so I'm used to different scenarios. And it's understanding the psychology of each scenario. Like, I know how I have a final table game. I have when there's 40 players left, like I have a different strategy. Like once I'm in the money, than pre-money play. I have when the bubble. I have a bubble strategy. I have, depending on my chip stack, like I have different strategies for the different phases of the game. And then the most pivotal strategy I have is the heads up strategy for the win. Like that's ideally I want to have more heads up experience than my opponent. And so usually when I sit down at a heads up table, up until recently, but usually I sit down with the least amount, the table minimum. So I'm used to playing as the underdog. So it'd be awesome in this table if this guy takes out most of the players, and then I play heads up with him, and he's a 10-1 favorite, and I climb back and win. That'd be awesome for me, for my poker ego. Because like that's basically what you do when you're kind of short stacked. You're kind of handcuffed. You can't really play too many hands, and so you have to kind of let the other people knock each other out, and so you miss out on bounties. Like chances are I won't get any bounties. The only 2 people I got covered, so I guess I could get bounties. But I need to make something happen in order to get more bounties. I have to. Well, I could double or triple up in a hand, then I'd have 90k, and then okay, so I wouldn't have got lucky. It all depends if I win. Like the blinds are so high, so if I win a pot, like see, there's already 6k in the pot right now because of antes and not antes. Yeah, I guess it is. It must be antes. Let's see. I'm upset. I don't want to make a deal. I never want to make a deal for so little chips. Maybe if there's thousands of dollars at stake. Yeah, there's a 300 chip ante. But depending on how the hand plays out here, it might be the last hand for me in this tournament. Oh, that was a brutal river. Nice one. Yeah, I'm hoping to make it to final, like heads up, and I don't care. Well, I guess I really don't want to be that much of an underdog, but I'd love to be a huge underdog and say I'm gonna put on a poker clinic, because by this point, when like there's still 9 of us left, so by this point, by heads up, I should have most of the players pretty dialed in, so I know how they're playing, so I should know if I should be able to run the guy over or not. I forget how the $10 tournament was, but really, I don't think it was as dynamic as the final table. Wasn't as dynamic as the play money tournament when I came fifth out of 1,467 players, because there was over 1,000 players, so there was 8 or 9 of us at the final table, so they were on fire that day. So it was a higher caliber. The final 40 for sure was more challenging than the $10 tournament was, anyways. Even though it was the play money was more challenging to me than the $10 was, because there were so few people in the $10 tournament. There was only 111. So you only have to be the best out of 111. Basically the best out of 11 or 12 tables. Whereas when you're the best out of 1,467, you're the best out of hundreds of tables. So the play money tournament took 4 hours. So people were serious about it. Like after an hour in play money, and especially once you're in the play money, the people tend to try more. Like the first hour or so is really weak play, and I don't even really pay attention too much. I just try to chip up, and but then once you get in the money, people are more competitive about it, because it's only play money, so you're playing for pride. So the pride goes up. But and then once you're at the final table in a tournament when there's thousands of players, you're playing for first, for the pride of winning a tournament of that many players, basically. I'd love to play in a 1,000,000 player tournament and win. But it would have to be over a couple months, probably. Say a month, both days of the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, for a month. Because you would have to have the same. The blinds can go up so fast, because then it takes the quality to play out. So the blinds would have to still be steady enough, like, so skill could thrive, not luck. Because if the blinds go up too fast, then lucky players get bust out these good players early in the tournament. So it diminishes the talent of the higher, especially if it was a TV show rated. If it's on TV, the higher caliber players are going to get knocked out most of the time. Oh, what a brutal river or turn that was. Made the strong call and got punished for it. Nice call. Thought I could try to wrestle that one away from him. Okay, that. This is the turning point of man, I'm gonna fold because there's 3 callers, but I'm getting amazing pot odds. If I was the luckier player, I would jam right now, but I'm gonna fold. It's the most prudent thing to do, because this big stack could jam, and then like he did. So I think I made a good full. I might have got lucky though. No, I wouldn't have got lucky, so good fold. That might have helped my cause to win. But now I can't be getting garbage hands like 7 deuce. But I could potentially win. I could pick my spots. I could maybe bluff. But unfortunately, I'll probably have to do an all-in bluff to be able to put enough pressure on the pot. Because like when I tried raising him there, he made that call with the queen. But if I would have jammed all in, I might have he might have been pressured to fold. That might have been enough pressure, but an extra 2,400, he made it a relatively easy call for him. It seemed he called it relatively quickly. But when you do make that call, you have to expect that you're losing most of the time. Unless you have a read on the guy. You know, I haven't really played too many hands at the final tables, and it'd be pretty suspicious if people have reads on me. Means they have past playing experience, or they are cheating, which is most likely. And he's gonna get lucky. He got lucky? No, he didn't. Nice. So it looks like I got a terrible hand here, so I'm just gonna find my spots. Trying to get a fold. I don't want to get called. Because if I got called, I'd probably lose by the river, so... Because I got ace-10 back-to-back, so chances of them both being the winner both times are slim. Whenever you get 2 hands identical. If you get, say, aces, queens, kings, if that one of those 3 are going to lose. The odds of you having 3 solid hands hold up in 3 consecutive pots are probably astronomically low. And if you do hit it, you're either cheating or somebody's cheating for you, probably. The odds must be... Who knows what the odds are? Too bad I couldn't Google it. You would have to know what the other hands would be, and if... Because it's unlikely that you'd be heads up at any point in that scenario. For all 3 hands. Chances are you'd be facing multiple opponents at one point. So did the ace-8 hold up? I want to see this. So he went all in, so chances are I would have lost perfect aces. 10-8. Could be worse. But it's not worth everything. Good, nobody raised it. That is awesome. I had a feeling I'd be the loser. That's why I didn't jam. It might not be. It might be. I gotta go with it. I'm gonna get unlucky, but I have to go with it. Three callers. I'm getting unlucky. But I want to see what garbage they have. Nice. I won. I got some breathing room. Nice. The three callers, ace queen, you have to expect to lose most of the time. My arm was so twisted going all in with ace queen there, because it's such a loser when this deep in a tournament. You're gonna run into big hands like when there's hundreds of players in a tournament this deep. Usually you can't rely on luck this long in a real money tournament, especially. You have to make skillful moves, and so you have to make these skillful moves in real money, especially, and but you're gonna run into these big hands where you're gonna have ace queen is gonna hit the ace king, or ace king versus queens, or aces versus kings. You're gonna run into these scenarios, or you've already survived these scenarios to reach the final table. Because there's usually a hand or two that, multiple hands. I don't know how many. You would have to watch the entirety of both videos and keep track how many game over scenarios I would have avoided by making the right fold, not betting or not calling too much, not raising. There's game over scenarios that you avoid when you win tournaments. They say defense wins championships, right? So it's making those critical folds late in the tournament. Like right now, I'm gonna fold because there's a guy to act after me. So I want to see the play though. Oh, that sucks. It's probably an action killer the turn, but maybe not. That was awesome. That's luck. That's the kind of luck you want. When you hit your hand, but they hit their hand. So that was definitely a lucky hand. So in the tournament, I'm kind of treading water. I'm in it anyways. I don't like my chance. Well, I like my chances because I'm in the tournament. I love my chances because I'm in the tournament. But I'm not confident of my chances yet. That's the difference. If I do make it heads up, I like my chances though, because I should have more experience than my opponent. Unless they wrote a champ through the heads up specialist that I'm playing covertly. Okay, I gotta try to win a pot here. Get some action. It's becoming too stagnant. I'm gonna fold. I don't believe him though. I don't believe him. Ah, I wish I had more chips. I don't believe him. I was hoping to steal a pot away there from him sneaking in there with the 9-7 suited. Because to beat some of these people at the final table, you got to. It's almost like if you're learning chess, you got to learn how to use the horse, because it makes an L-shaped move, so it catches people off guard. People could see straight lines and diagonal lines a lot easier than they could see the L move. So you could decimate a lot of people with the horse. But at the same time, it's kind of restricted, so it's expendable. But you could usually do quite a bit of damage before you're retired, so to speak. Let's see if I could rally back in. It was a little risky with the 9-7, but I did hit, but I didn't believe him. If I hadn't covered, I would have jammed all in. And I'm trying to hit information, but it's trying to register me here so they could cheat me. Like, who keeps on clicking that checkbox 7 times in a row? I'm trying to hit information. Again, 8 times. But I would not want to make a deal. Okay, there we go. Finally. So I'm currently 5th out of 6 remaining. 129,000 average stack. Okay, so 6th place pays $22. That's all right. Anything over 50 would be all right, because there's the, maybe not, there's the Midnight Lightning tournament, which is nice. And shortest stack is 22K. And shortest stack just won. So I'm now shortest stack. So I'm expecting my cards to go south and get terrible cards here on out. I guarantee it. I'm not going to have any card over a 10, basically. Guaranteed. 8 deuce, 3 deuce. In my earlier video, when I was at the cash game, they kept on making me time out and have to click I'm back every hand, only on the cash table. So I wonder what their excuse is going to be for that, because it totally affected my rhythm. I wasn't able to get into any timing with I couldn't manipulate them with how long it took me to use my timer. And that's a psychological tool that you need when you play online poker. So they restricted that from me. So it cost me money, basically. And punitively, it cost me fun experience. Okay, it's all about this tournament here. There's 6 of us left. So if this guy gets busted now and this guy becomes the chip leader, that'd be pretty awesome too. That was a terrible flop. What a brutal flop for King Ace Queen. I gotta fold. Somebody has the straight, most likely. Call. So I wouldn't have improved, so it was a good fold. Jack 9, so he did have the straight. I thought so. That's why I folded. So there was I avoided a game over situation. So I have less than 10 blinds, so that's not ideal. It sucks. But what is the average pot? See, so the average pot is 60K, so... So I need a big hand. Ideally, I got pocket aces next hand, and then I get several callers, like 3-4 callers, and I win and I hold up and I have about 100K. Is the best case scenario. So the most likely scenario is 7 deuce, and people raise and I don't get to see the flop for cheap. Because at least with 7 deuce and you see the flop for cheap, you might have a winner. But I have so few chips that I can't pressure anybody. So I'm getting pretty good pot odds, so I have to call. Even though I knew I was going to miss. Even though I knew it. 100% of the time I was going to miss. Nice. Got the call and the win. I needed that. So maybe not losing with the ace queen might have put me one step closer to achieving the victory anyways. I'm still in it. Now if I double or triple up, I'm chip average stack, then I could open up the playbook, because right now I'm kind of handcuffed. So it's not an ideal situation to be in. But all you could do is sit back and watch other players go out. And pick your spots, because the blinds are so expensive for me, but so cheap for everybody else, that there was 4 callers. Almost like earlier in the tournament, if you watch, I forget what the guy had. He had ace king, and I forget what I had, but I busted him with a terrible hand, because he didn't have enough chips for me to worry about folding. He had something like 11K, and I might have had 60K or something like that. So it was nothing for me to lose that for the bounty. It was worth it for me to chase the bounty, basically, even though I knew I had a high probability of losing. Chances are I had 2 live cards, so that's what I was going by. So let's see. So I don't really care. I'm just playing the cash game to stay occupied, basically. I'm really only concerned with the tournament, because I love playing in the final table. Getting low on the battery juice there. Hopefully I can win a pot here. Nice call. It was brutal. Needed to win that pot. But I didn't risk that much, so I'm still on it. So the short stack stayed in it, unfortunately. I would have flopped the street, that's brutal. So I need to win the next hand I play, basically. I'm at that point in the tournament. I need to win the next hand I play. Good luck me if he calls. Four of a kind, nice. I was pretty confident he didn't have the flush, but I thought he for sure didn't have the deuce. Oh, that's brutal. If I would have went with it, I think I would have lost. Since I folded, I think I would have won. Hopefully it turns out to be the loser, though, by the river. Because I would have flopped two pairs, so I would have called. Eight, 10. He's king. So it was 9-4. I'd have called 9-4. I almost folded, because I would have been able to survive another round, but figured I'd take the chance. Even though he would likely call, I was hoping to get lucky. Hopefully you've seen what place I finished. I didn't even care. It wasn't even noteworthy. It was 5th or 6th in a $5 tournament, so it wasn't even memorable. Anyways, if you like how I play, consider sponsoring me, endorsing me, or making donations. My PayPal email address is christianerikarnemeyer@gmail.com. And if you want to have your mind blown, go to www.change.org/technology. If you believe your thoughts are private, people could listen to them with technology. So sign the petition, share it on social media, and contribute some money so the government could acknowledge the system and a civilian and military oversight committee could be set up. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.